I've actually used that track played in the intro to this video quite a few times on my other YouTube channel, VA Scratch King, and as shown here, there's no copyright claim. Let me go ahead and quickly preview this video so that you can in fact see that it's the same. And as you can see, an ever so slight change to the cadence and tempo, along with a few ad-libs here and there, actually allowed this well-known theme song to fly under the radar undetected, at least for the moment. And that video didn't receive a copyright claim, as I noted earlier. Conversely, as you see here, last week's video on this channel, paying homage to DMX, actually did receive a copyright claim. But in that video, we actually used his song in its entirety. But before we get started, do you actually know the difference between a copyright claim and a copyright strike? This article by Carla Marshall, who works for vidIQ, actually does a wonderful job explaining it. Before I got my very first copyright claim, I actually had no clue what it entailed, what my options were, and what the penalties were. But that's the purpose of today's video, is not only to explain the difference between the two, but also we're going to walk through uploading a video that we know should be caught by YouTube's content ID. And then we're going to walk through what our choices are there. As you can read here, a copyright claim is someone asserting that you've used their content, whether it be a video clip, an image, or a piece of audio, while a copyright strike is actually much more serious for a YouTube creator. And this can actually get your channel suspended for repeat copyright offenses. One thing to recognize and be aware of is that YouTube's content ID has gotten very good over time at detecting and alerting YouTube creators of potentially copyrighted material before you actually can even make the video go live. That wasn't always the case, but as you can see here before you, these are just some of the items to note in regards to copyright claims. The main things to be aware of are that a copyright claim doesn't adversely affect a YouTube channel, and that will actually show in the box to inform you of that if a video is flagged for this type of offense. But if your channel is monetized and that video of course is eligible, then ad revenue can be withheld and the copyright holder actually can either split that or request to take all of the revenue from that video. The video can also be restricted from being played in certain regions or countries. And for both type of offenses, you, the content creator, actually have the right to appeal each offense. We will spend just a little bit of time here discussing the more harsher of the two, copyright strike, as I won't be able to actually show this in my YouTube account. We don't want no drama. No drama. No drama. But a copyright strike is where actually the content holder can take legal action against the YouTube creator. And as such, YouTube immediately sides with them. And by that, I mean they actually take the video down and make it unavailable. They don't side with them in the case of, getting in the middle of any arbitration. But, again, just for legal parlance, they want to protect themselves as the platform where these videos are hosted. As you can see here highlighted, a copyright strike will adversely affect your channel. A YouTube channel can actually be terminated after 3 copyright strikes. Getting this straight from the horse's mouth, here is YouTube's article on copyright strikes and some of the basic information there. As noted before, if you receive a copyright strike, it means that that copyright owner submitted complete and valid legal takedown requests for using their copyright protected content. What happens when you get a copyright strike? Again, YouTube notes that they make mistakes, and it's really just a warning when they remove that video. And they actually require you to attend their copyright school, some courses online that kind of educate you to ensure that you're knowledgeable about your rights there within. This is additional information again, and I'll link this in the description if you want to read more about copyright strikes. But let's go ahead and walk through a very quick video clip So what we have here is just a simple video clip where I was kidding around a few months ago, and as you can see right here, I wasn't too worried about getting the green screen perfect. But if you take a look up here in the media section, you'll notice a few clips of music videos, some from the publishing company themselves, some from creators re-uploading the content, something that's actually strongly discouraged. And down here, each of these individual tracks is a portion of the audio from the videos that they were taken from down on YouTube. So the main 2-minute video clip that we have here has various songs mixed in, but we'll go ahead and fast forward through that clip. And the purpose of using this clip is to actually demonstrate what a copyright claim looks like inside of YouTube, as well as different levels therein. And yes, there are in fact different levels to this madness, but we'll get to that in just a few minutes. The actual titles for these artists used in this video clip are shown on the screen, and go ahead and feel free to take a guess at which ones you think will have just a small claim and those that'll have actually a larger or more significant claim. So we're going to export this clip that's just a little bit over 2 minutes long, and once that's been completed, we'll go ahead and upload it in the studio and take a peek at what happens there. And so through the magic of fast forwarding, our export is done. So let's go ahead and head on over to the studio. And so here in the studio, let's go ahead and upload a video. We'll go ahead and just simply drag it in today. You can actually at this point, of course, save your video and come back to your main screen and do other things inside the studio. But as you can see, if you go ahead and hang tight, that you actually in the lower corner, notice that they're actually checking this for any copyright material. Again, a very useful feature by YouTube that even if you just have a 30-second, 15-second or 2-minute clip that you're unsure of, instead of putting so much work and time into the post-production, go ahead and upload that simple clip that you may have questions about and just see what comes out here. And you may actually save yourself a lot of time of rework right up front. And as this message implies, copyright claim found. No one will be able to watch your video. This normally doesn't appear just for what I call the simpler copyright claims, as those are the ones where the video will play, but you may actually have to share your revenue with the content holder. So let's go ahead and click see details and check this one out. So as noted, these were the 7 titles that actually we pulled down from random YouTube videos. Ineligible for monetization. Again, I'm not a member of the YouTube partner program, but if I were, then this video would be ineligible to get any ad revenue. Visibility, as they noted before, it's actually blocked. No one can view this video due to one or more of the content ID claims. And of course, this doesn't have an impact as it's not a copyright strike. We of course noted earlier that the copyright claims don't impact your channel. Again, just looking at your stop sign, red, yellow, green, the stoplights, this is the one that draws or jumps out to you. Of course, Jay-Z, ought to pull around the world today. But these other ones, again, you notice that they actually would have allowed the video to be played, just not monetized. But this one shows that the video cannot be seen. Regardless of what type of impact these have, you as the content creator can take actions to perhaps remedy this if you click this drop down here. But as you see here, there will always be these 3 options for you, the content creator. There may be additional ones expanded in the future, as this replace song is actually within the last 6 months. I think this used to not be there. But what these options mean is for that particular segment or that track of the entire video, you can allow YouTube's engine to trim out that segment. And they say that it may take up to 24 hours to do that. If the video was eligible to be played, then it normally takes just a short while. I've seen it take only 30 minutes or 20 minutes to reflect, but they give themselves, of course, that time up to 24 to 48 hours. This second option, replace song, allows you, the content creator, to maybe pick a title that goes along with that one. Of course, extra work to try to think, will it mess up the mood or the ebb and flow or the direction of the video? So this is an option that used to not be there, but it is very helpful. I've got friends that record in casinos and Vegas and places like that. And as you know, it's tough to kind of tell someone to dim down the music there on the strip. This last option, mute song, will just play the video but mute the song for, again, that segment. But these three choices, picking either one of them, can help remove this flag here and get your video to, if it's eligible for monetization, to go ahead and receive that ad revenue. And you always have the right and the option to dispute the claim, as we pointed out earlier. We'll come back in here, as I've not ever actually picked any of those. So let's go ahead and make this video private. And you see this visibility actually says block. So you can try to make it public, but as you see here, block. So if we go back over to copyright claim and see details for that action, let's go ahead and trim that segment out. This is what it'll look like. Their engine has already done the calculations of where they of course flag that song. So if we go ahead and hit trim, you have the option to preview that clip there, of course. This is the actual clip that of course had the music playing. We muted it for the video that we just saw there earlier. They of course give you this message here that it may take a while, but the video, if it's eligible to be played, can go ahead and continue to be played in its current state at the moment. That's more of course for the ones that don't block the region, the country, or even being able to be played anywhere, like a Jay-Z song here. If we were to do the same for one of these others that of course couldn't be monetized, the video would play and you could hear those songs, but it would allow you to be monetized once you go ahead, once you remove this, once you allow YouTube's engine to trim out that segment or that song. And as you saw there, you can only let YouTube work on one at a time. So we'd have to come back in if we wanted to take action on these other sections there. But if you take a look here, you notice that the segment that was trimmed out was between the 2 minute and 12 second mark all the way up until 2 minutes and 53 seconds. Taking a look at the video now, we see the visibility has changed to partially blocked, and the video has been reduced to 2 minutes and 13 seconds. So if we go back into the details, we see that the video has been blocked in certain regions and countries, of course, because of those other titles that of course are restricting that in some territories. So we could go ahead and do the same for each. We could mute the song for that segment. YouTube is always coming up with new things that of course help content creators, so definitely love being on this platform. But you can choose to mute all of the sound, meaning like any background noises, environmental, machines, birds, honking horns, just the entire clip. Or you can allow them to try to just mute that song, which I'm pretty sure will take a little bit longer. The last option actually allows you to replace the song. This is of course using YouTube's free library, so they've loaded some of what they may deem the best options here. And you can also pick to go ahead and open up a new tab, and in their library you can search their extensive titles here. And of course it will just pick a segment for that length of that clip to go ahead and replace it. And that will of course replace that segment that has been flagged there. But again, we went over a lot today, and I truly do appreciate your time, especially if you made it this far into the video. I know this can seem like a dry topic, but I think it's one that we should at least have a baseline knowledge of, not only in case we encounter it, but someone that we may know to of course calm them down, as I've seen a lot of folks for these copyright claims not know what it entails. And of course we all, once we get our first one, we're all there before. And again, there's things that we can do to prevent it, but we just need to be knowledgeable that it's not the most serious thing, and we just need to know what our options are in case we encounter that. So I hope that I provided that context here today. But I just want to continue to encourage each and every one of you out there to continue to aspire to be the best you that is possible. Again, it doesn't matter where you're at right now. Life is definitely a journey. Each day starts and ends with the decisions that you make. And as it relates to this YouTube journey, I just hope that those decisions center around staying inspired, staying motivated, continuing to grow and better yourselves, challenge yourself, and also be receptive of any critical feedback that we may have. So always feel free to drop a comment down below, regardless of whether it's good, bad, or you just want to vent. I'm definitely here for that as well, because I know we all need to do that sometimes. But whether you create a little or you create a lot, just keep creating. And until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and peace.